The plainest Jane. This is one of my favorite comments here. She says, I loves me some black, and she said, loves me some black news. She says, is it just me, or does anyone else get tired of seeing people that don't look like them delivering info about them day in and day out?
I'm your girl, thePLAINESTjane, and let's see what's happening in these virtual streets. You ready? All right now. This could be a crazy ride. I'm warning you now. What up and welcome back. I'm Jane, thePLAINESTjane, and here I deliver syrup in the form of black news and celebrity updates. Come on in. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Friday, aka Friday, and baby, we made it. Nigga, we made it. Okay. So I hope that y'all have had an amazing week. Y'all know I always implore you to check on your mental health, to have a good day on purpose. And hopefully y'all are ready for the weekend, and hopefully y'all have some amazing things in store that are either going to help you relax, help you get to the next phases and reach your goals, or maybe a nice healthy combination of the both of them. Either way, we are here to do the morning show today. I made it just in the nick of time, so it's still technically a morning show over here on the East Coast. It is 11:58 over here in Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore East Coast, stand up. And shout out to all of the other time zones around the Midwest and the West Coast of the United States. And shout out to my people who aren't watching from the United States. Comment down below what state, what city, what country, where you're watching from, where you're tuning in from. Your girl want to know. All right. So let's go ahead and get started and pull this bus off. Some people thought we pulled off early, child. No. But we will be pulling off momentarily. I want to go real quick and get into some of these celebrity birthdays. Okay, we like to celebrate the celebrities in our community, and I enjoy kind of just getting into, you know, just the ages and what people have done throughout their career. So today would be Snoop Dogg's birthday. Snoop Dogg is 52 today, and we know him from a bunch of different things, whether it's the music industry, whether it's his acting career on screen, Baby Boy, the list goes on and on. But Snoop Dogg has definitely done a lot. I mean, especially commercial-wise, brand-wise. He stays with a gig, whether it's Corona or Old Spice. He's definitely going to keep a job and stay booked and busy and make cameos in different shows as well. If y'all remember back in the day on the sitcoms when all of the musicians were, Biggie made a guest appearance on Martin. Snoop Dogg did. I mean, all of the rappers were making their cameos in the different sitcoms. So that was definitely something. Kamala Harris, she was cute back in the day. Not that she's not cute now, but Kamala Harris, it's her birthday today as well. She turns 59. All right. Yesterday, we had a birthday. We had, who was it that we missed? Was it Brandy? No, it wasn't Brandy. It was Denzel Washington. That's who it was. Denzel Washington's, was it? Hold on. Child, it wasn't his birthday. They got him on this black celebrity birthday page. They got to chill. They must chill with this. They must stop right away. However, today we also have Jennifer Freeman. She's 38 today. She's from My Wife and Kids. Okay. Also from You Got Served. She was the older sister from My Wife and Kids. So not the younger one, but the older sister. It is her birthday today as well. So shout out to them. Ashanti's birthday was a couple of days ago as well. Absolutely. Oklahoma, North Carolina, New York in the building. Cali is in the building. Orange County. Okay. It's a lot of California. We got some Philly, Boston, Houston, Australia. It's 2 a.m. Oh, okay. Charlotte, New York, Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, New York. Okay, we got some people in the building. Yes, Leo. What was you wait till we go live to start this mess? Okay. Go ahead and have a seat up there, okay? Because you just ate breakfast, so it ain't gonna be none of them TRAATs. All right, up over here. Thank you. Just have a seat so that we can pull this locomotive off. Put your seatbelt on, buddy. Dang, can't do nothing without this cat trying to make it about him. Okay, so shout out to all of the celebrity birthdays. Okay, as we get ready to pull this bus off. Okay, now hopefully all of y'all have done your due diligence. All right. And hit the thumbs up button before we get to moving this locomotive. As you can tell from the title, we are talking about DJ Envy and his former business partner, Cesar Pina, and the iHeart offices were raided. So I want to get into some information regarding this. I really wanted to wait until all the chips fell until I started speaking about this. But shout out to the people, especially the people who are very prominent here on YouTube, content creators who are Black. JT the Pocket Watcher, Tony the Closer, they have really been keeping their foot on Envy and Cesar's neck, so to speak, with getting this information out. So Cesar Pina has been arrested, and I want to get into breaking all of those things down. Support the stream however it is that you can. There are several different ways you can support the stream. You can send a Cash App, but that is not required. Appreciate it. Totally not required. Okay. So please just share the video, okay, via text message, Twitter, Instagram, social media. Share it to your Facebook, however, your group chats, however you share videos, or hit that thumbs up button. When you're on my bus, you got to pay your fare. And paying your fare does not involve spending money, okay? So hit the thumbs up button. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more information on these stories and so much more, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get ready to pull off. And see, Leo, you got a whole fan base up here. You be up here acting crazy. Everybody down there talking about you in the comments, and you up here acting crazy. Ain't that something? Yeah, it's something. It's something. Anyway, it is Friday. Wake up, everybody. Wake up. Are you in the mood? Wake up. Are you at work? Are you getting ready for work? Let's go ahead and give ourselves some energy. We're going to pull off this bus. Hopefully, I don't give y'all no whiplash. And if so, you definitely needed it. So let's get into these stories of the day and see if there's any breaking news that transpires while we're on the bus today. Hit like, drop some pancakes, and let go. The following video is broadcasting live, and thank you for being my studio audience. Thank you for hitting thumbs up and subscribing to my channel for more Black news, celebrity entertainment, and a splash of controversy. Yes, and shout out to the Eastern Shore of Maryland. Definitely can't forget about y'all. Also, shout out to the reasonable Black girl who joined the membership. All right. Right before we went live. Thank you so much for joining the membership. We are glad to have you. All right. Welcome backstage and to becoming an official Sticky. So without further ado, y'all know we have to talk about DJ Envy because it's looking like he might lose his job or something. So the feds raided iHeartRadio offices in hopes that they were able to find some evidence to corroborate and substantiate their claims with this RICO case involving DJ Envy and his former business partner, Cesar Pina. We know that he has, they have been on a joint real estate venture with, ironically, there have been a couple of people who have jokingly called out how much of a scam this is, how much of a Ponzi scheme this is in the past. So there have been some clips that have resurfaced, and we're going to get into those clips. And then I want to elaborate upon how much of a nasty, scheming capitalist the couple that Will and Jada is. But we'll get into that a little bit later and a couple of other things in this nice, easy breezy morning show. So thank y'all all for being here and supporting the stream in any way you can. Let's go ahead and get started with some of these documents or these clips that I pulled up for you.
We're back now with an I-Team exclusive. Less than a week after we broke the story of investors who say they were scammed in a real estate venture promoted by radio host DJ Envy, there is a major development.
DJ Envy's longtime business partner has been arrested by federal agents in New Jersey. Cesar Pina has been charged with fraud. Investigative reporter Sarah Wallace has been all over the story. She has the latest from federal court in Newark.
Cesar Pina arrested by the feds this morning on a charge of wire fraud and brought here to the federal courthouse in Newark. They say this may be just the beginning. He could face additional charges of money laundering. Pina pleaded not guilty. He has to post a $1 million bond and is being released on electronic monitoring. He cannot leave the state of New Jersey. No comment from DJ Envy. An inside source tells us that the iHeart radio offices were visited by the feds who took out electronic equipment as part of this investigation.
You might know him on Instagram as Flippin' NJ, my friend Cesar Pina.
DJ Envy often had his pal, Cesar Pina, on the radio host's The Breakfast Club show.
Started with no money, and here I am, $50 million later in real estate.
Promoting their real estate partnership. Now, in this federal complaint, the government says Pina engaged in a Ponzi-like scheme involving investors, adding Pina defrauded dozens of victims of millions of dollars. We interviewed many of them.
I lost $200,000.
$835,000 in total.
I lost a total of $64,000.
I lost $1 million.
Envy, whose real name is RaaShaun Casey, was not charged, but many of the alleged victims say they were influenced by his celebrity.
He's advertising this all over the radio and on television.
Investors say Pina promised he would rehab and flip distressed properties, many in Patterson, giving a 30% profit within months. Dozens have now filed lawsuits saying they never got any of their investment back. Pina is accused of pocketing $17 million from just 4 properties. As news broke of his arrest, we were interviewing Jeff Robinson, who owns a food truck and car wash in Patterson.
My son was my world, and these people took advantage.
His son, Jeff Jr., tragically died in a car accident 6 months ago, leaving 2 children behind. Jeff Jr. had invested $325,000 with Pina in this Passaic property. The dad says Pina then went dark.
After I buried my son, I called Cesar. Oh, bro, I'm going to meet you. I have text correspondence with Cesar, text messages. Oh, I'm running a little behind. He never met me here. But my main concern is getting what's due to those children. It's not fair. The comfort would be when my grandkids are in position when they have trust accounts with that money that he owes those children.
Rolex on your wrist, a plain Jane.
It's not looking too good, all right? And it's also looking like, I know you're not picking on that chair. It's also looking like iHeartRadio may be included. It definitely has a high potential that they could be included and found liable, since it was their mega platform that was used to broadcast to millions of listeners. They are syndicated in lots of different states, markets, and demographics. So it's looking like iHeartRadio might even be pulled into this mix. DJ Envy is already into the mix, although DJ Envy is claiming, hey, I didn't know he was getting over on people. Hell, he was getting over on me. He owes me money. I'm also a victim of his, in addition to the other quote unquote victims. Okay. Now, DJ Envy is also blaming, in so many words, blaming some of the victims for not checking with their investors and legal attorneys to see if it was a good deal or not, if they should have invested any of the money that they lost. But it has been confirmed. Sources are saying that the iHeartRadio offices have been raided, and they did confiscate some electronic evidence, some sort of digital evidence, whether they took a hard drive, whether they airdrop files to themselves. Unclear of exactly how they were able to confiscate the evidence, but they were able to confiscate some things when they raided this place. Okay. And so, and good morning to everybody coming in. Good morning. Good morning, all of you. Let's continue. I want to show you all some of the things Joe Budden actually was one of the people that DJ Envy tried to pitch. DJ Envy tried to pitch, hey, I'm doing this real estate thing. How about you do it too? He tried to pitch it to Joe Budden, and he tried to pitch it to Fabulous. And I think he did DJ Clue as well. And right off the bat, Joe Budden called out that it was a scam, that it was a Ponzi scheme, and that Envy was going to go to jail. This was years ago. Turns out Joe was right. Let's take a look. Y'all know I bring the receipts, so drop them pancakes in the chat and hit that damn like button.
And I met Cesar.
Cesar.
Cesar is Flippin' NJ is my partner in New Jersey. He owns over 1,600 units in New Jersey and all throughout the country.
Cesar was in prison before.
Cesar was in prison. Cesar was locked up, and he learned how to do real estate in prison.
Wow.
He learned how to do it in prison.
We got to bring Cesar up here one day.
Yeah, he'd love to do it.
And shout out to my guy, the credit dude, man.
Yeah. So with Cesar, he taught me how to do it the right way. He taught me, why he was like, his first thing is, why are you using your money? That's what you mean. He said, you don't use your money. You use other people's money to get these deals. And started teaching me the game of how to do it without using minimum money.
Now, he learned the game in jail. And he told you why you use your money, use other people's money. And you blaming the victims that have been got and saying, well, they should have checked with their investors. Well, they trusted you. You said you had all the answers, Sway. So you telling them that they should have checked with their investors to dot their I and cross their T's to make sure they weren't being scammed. But if that's the advice that you have for them, and now all of a sudden you're a victim of Caesar's, then why didn't you take your own advice? Why are you here? And it makes it difficult to believe. It sucks. If I feel like Caesar did get over on him at some point or another, but one thing about it is I feel like he did have knowledge of this. And due to the fact that he used his platform to advertise and push this man on people and to present him, since they were doing seminars together, you had a responsibility to inform your audience. Once you learned that he was doing dirt, you have a responsibility, since you have pushed him hard on your show morning after morning after morning, to come back to your platform and say, you know what, I think that y'all should stop dealing with this guy in good faith, because I wouldn't recommend anything that isn't really a return of interest to me. People who owe just non-good business dealings. You should have told your listeners if you really cared. And not only should you have told your listeners, you still to this very moment have not filed a suit against him. But now all of a sudden, because things have hit the fan, now all of a sudden you're saying you're a victim. And it took for the mainstream media to bring this and to really make this a thing before Envy even addressed it or decided to get serious about it. Because when it was just Black bloggers and Black folks, Black journalists, independent or freelance journalists who were talking about this, he didn't care. He was like, whatever. Once the white media, aka the mainstream media, started picking it up, then Envy started trembling in his boots. He went and got an attorney, and even against his attorney's own better judgment, he still spoke out about it. And now all of a sudden, he's a victim. So when you advertise something that you thought was good in your heart of hearts to your platform, your large platform, and you find out that it's not right, you had the responsibility to come back and then tell your audience that. And that's okay. That's okay. But had you said that the end of last year, because from my understanding and from my research, DJ Envy, when certain people would come to him, some people DJ Envy would take on himself, and other people he would send over to Cesar after he found out that Cesar was doing dirt and not giving people their due money. So Cesar was doing dirt if he got this one guy who owns an auto shop for $1 million worth of investments, was supposedly his life savings. And when the guy finally didn't get his return on interest back, return of investment back, Cesar stops by with 2 chains talking about, here, take these until I get some money. You paying people chains and jewelry instead of the actual money that you promised that you would give them. This is not making any sense. It's not making any sense whatsoever. Cesar has defrauded dozens of victims, and It started in 2017, from what the court documents say, when he started accepting these investments from victim investors. He promised them 20 to 45% return on investment in just 5 months. So when people weren't getting their return of investment after 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 months a year, now they're pressing. And he's ducking and dodging phone calls and dropping off jewelry to certain people. So a Ponzi scheme is what this is. So he gets people's money, and then he finds a new victim, and he takes the new victim's money to pay off the previous victim's money. And it's just this big scheme. It's a scam. So he's facing 1 count of wire fraud, which carries a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison, a fine of $250,000, or twice the gross amount of any loss his victims might have suffered, whichever is greater. So this is kind of like restitution versus the penalty, whichever one is greater. So this is a really, really twisted web. But when you do dirt, baby, it's going to come out, especially dirt to this magnitude. $17 million this man done took from people. And Envy is acting oblivious to it all. I don't think so. But let's get back into Joe Budden having told DJ Envy right off the rip, it's a scam. You going to jail, bro.
And I met Cesar.
Caesar.
Cesar is flipping NJ, is my partner in New
Right.
Jersey. He owns over 1,600 units in New Jersey and all throughout the country.
Caesar was in prison before.
Caesar was in prison. Caesar was locked up, and he learned how to do real estate in prison.
Wow.
He learned how to do it in prison.
We got to bring Caesar up here one day.
Yeah, he'd love to do it.
And shout out to my guy, the credit dude, man.
Yeah. So with Caesar, he taught me how to do it the right way. He taught me, why he was like, his first thing is, why are you using your money? That's what you mean. He said, you don't use your money. You use other people's money to get these deals. And started teaching me the game of how to do it without using minimal money. And that's what I've been trying to teach people. When I first got into real estate, I called 3 people. I called Clue. I called Fabulous. I called Joe Budden. Right? My Desert Storm family. And I said, hey, guys, I'm doing real estate. This is something that I think that, you should invest a little bit of money in, try it out, and that way you can do it. Joe Budden told me it was a Ponzi scheme and I was going to go to jail. Fab was like, I'll call you back. And Clue was like, nah, it's not for me. But I tried to teach them how to do it because I wanted my brothers to eat.
Calls me as someone that he is not speaking to. We have not spoken about anything. And he calls me and starts talking about some real estate shit. For me, that's odd. We don't speak. And now you calling me, telling me that your man's with the government and he could get the buildings and there's a list, it'd be me, you, and Queen Latifah and whatever the fuck he was saying, because I was walking my dog in the backyard, so I want to stop listening at this point. But that just sounded fishy. You give me some money, we're going to take it, we're going to get this, we're going to get that, we're going to... And my brother...
Rolex on your wrist, RaaShaun.
Listen, you might not like Joe. Joe definitely is not my favorite person, but sometimes when he's right, he's right. He can be annoying at times. He can be extra at times. He's going to do and say whatever he needs to do to get that podcast to go viral, to get a soundbite so that he can trend. And he is an asshole plenty of times. But when he's right, right? What he said about Drake's album, there were no lies. What he said about this, there were no lies. Sometimes you can tell and smell when something is off or wrong, whatever somebody is presenting you in your face or over the phone, and you might not even have all the words to explain it, but you like, something's not right about this. I'm good on that. Nah, I'm good. You might not even be able to articulate it, but nah, something ain't right about that. Something ain't right about that. Joe was one of those people. Okay, so comment down below what you think. Listen, even if you're chasing a bus, it means you didn't catch us on the live. It means you're watching the replay. Comment down below. What are your thoughts about Joe? Do you think he was right? Do you think he was being a hater? What are your thoughts, right? There was also another person, a comedian, and this was 4 years ago. Okay, this was 4 years ago. This comedian came up to do an interview on The Breakfast Club. Let's take a listen to this encounter.
this. Envy, I adore you. I want to get a house from you. Shit, I don't see houses. But what if you flipping something? Ain't it houses? What the fuck you doing? Every time I see you doing something, you flipping a house in New Jersey or some shit like that.
No, I'm not a realtor.
Houses.
I buy houses, I fix them, and I rent them out. I'm not a realtor. I'm trying to encourage people to buy homes and to create generational wealth.
You should become a realtor.
Okay, but I'm trying to figure out, because then you got the home and you try to make money off the home. And you making money off the home.
Yes, ma'am.
So you selling the homes.
I'm selling rooms or apartments. I'm keeping it.
SROs.
Yeah, I'm keeping it. So
you the slumlord. Oh, you got 4 families worth of niggas living under one roof? Oh my God. Does the government know?
I'm trying to encourage people to buy homes and to invest in themselves so they can
See, she was being funny with it, but no, she was asking these questions. Do the government know? She was on it. Shout out to this comedian Yamaneika, because she was on it.
Always have property instead of continue to rent.
By investing in you and putting money in your pocket. Let's not act like you not making money. I'm just to the point I was making is you making money, right?
I'm doing it the right way without getting got.
But they got to get got by you before they don't get got by you.
Rolex on your wrist, a plain Jane.
So listen, a lot of people called out his bull crap years ago because it just didn't sound right. Are you helping me invest my money into a home myself, or am I giving you money to give to somebody? Like, what's the funnel? Like, it'd be different if he was just teaching a class for, $999, and then giving people all the knowledge they need, the connects they need, access to different architects and investors and business loans and banks and things like that to help them do what they needed to do. But why are they funneling their investment money into you so that you can invest it into something else? And then what's this paper trail? Something don't sound right about that. Something doesn't sound right about that. So people have been calling this out for quite some time. Okay. Pyramid scheme, as people say. Hey, Chicago Clout. They call me the Pancake Lady in some places on YouTube. So this is something else. And a lot of people are wondering, is DJ Envy going to be taken off the air? Will he lose his job? Will iHeart Media force him out of the door because they're like, listen, we can't have any affiliation or association. You used our airwaves, which is syndicated for millions of people to listen to each day, in order to push this scheme. And now the numbers are actually up to between 80 and $100 million that the two of them, both Cesar Pina and DJ Envy, have gotten out of people collectively. 80 to $100 million is big money. We're not talking about no $2,000. This is a big deal. This is a RICO. This is federal. All right. So Cesar Pina has been arrested. He's already been released, but it's still not looking good. Now, DJ Envy is cooperating with the feds as of now. So he is cooperating, and he's listed as individual number 1 in the paperwork. So I think he's hoping that because he is working with the feds and telling them all I know, listen, hey, I didn't know this about what he was or wasn't doing. So, here's what I do know. Here's what I don't know. I ain't got nothing to do with this. I guess he's hoping that he's going to skate off and not be held accountable or associated with these crimes. But it's a little bit too late for that. So I'm surprised social media isn't joking about him being a rat, honestly, at this point. But I think that DJ Envy has a lot more to lose than Cesar Pina does. And if DJ Envy was smart, he would really put his affairs in order, because it's not looking good. He's got kids. I believe DJ Envy's got 6 kids and a wife. And apparently his wife is deleting all of the photos from her social media pages of all of her high-end bags and shoes and clothes and things like that, so that if the FBI comes through and does some sort of a visual audit, you know what I mean, just to see what type of assets they were working with, that those things will be snatched down. But social media has already clocked that too. Social media has already clocked that as well. So DJ Envy better really, really hope that if Cesar is, when they split 2 people up, individual 1, individual 2, right? You never know what the other person could be saying in the other room or in their separate investigations. So Cesar Pina might go in there and blame everything on Envy. Envy will go in there and blame everything on Cesar Pina. Who's more believable? Now, prior to all of this, Cesar Pina was a bit of a career criminal who had charges like scammy and fraudulent charges on his record already. That's what he was serving time for, where he quote unquote learned how to flip houses and not use his own money and use other people's money. So he's a professional scam artist. He just got a little bit too greedy. Once you get to the $80 million mark, you got to know that you're being watched by the feds. Otherwise, you're just simple. You don't even watch enough movies to understand that doesn't make sense. Maybe if you skate off with your little $2 million and go fade off to the sunset, maybe you would have been under somebody's radar, but not getting close to $100 million. That's a bit much. That's a bit much. Please hit the like button. There are 455 of us up in here right now. And just make sure y'all hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. We got some Jada. I want to peel back the onion layers on the disgusting capitalist ways of Will and Jada. It's moderately obvious, but I think that there's something bigger coming in the picture, coming from not only Will and Jada, but people who are seeking a certain something. There's a piece of the conversation that I do think is missing pertaining to Will, Jada, and other celebrity friends. So we're going to get into that. So please get them likes up from me, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning, and happy Friday to everybody. Are y'all having a good Friday so far? Are y'all having a good Friday thus far? Okay. So let's go ahead and, well, first of all, let me say thank you to, we had Frederica Polar join the membership. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Shout out to Naughty Love Movement LLC for the 99-cent super sticker. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. And Melanin Queen sent the $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much. As much as DJ Empty was in Caesar's face like they were a couple, there's no way he didn't know. He didn't lose any physical money or he would be upset. Good point. Good point. Good point. That's a good point. I think he knew something too. He might not have been able to articulate it all the way, but he definitely knew something was up to the point where he stopped tying his own money together with this brother. And he really should have told his platform as well. Okay. So, great Friday. Yes. Young Boy Smooth. We need you on YouTube full time. Shall we? We'll see. We'll see. We're going to do what it do, baby. All right. So let's go ahead and get into our next topic. Okay. That being, you know what? Let's get into this funny story really quick. We got a little bit of Flower Ranger news to get into. Oh, Lord have mercy. What is going on here? What is going on here? What is going on? Oh, okay. Computer want to freeze up. Computer, come on now. Come on now. All right. So let's get into our next story, which is some Flower Ranger news, child. I just make it make sense. Take a look at this picture and take a look at this man here on the screen. Before we get into Will and Jada, let's just go ahead and get this Flower Ranger news out the way. Let's get this Flower Ranger news out the way. Okay. So this man has been arrested for faking a heart attack 20 goddamn times at restaurants to avoid paying a bill. Okay, so this is a 50-year-old man. He's been arrested. He lives in Spain after allegedly faking heart attacks at several restaurants in order to avoid paying the bill. So he has been identified as Adis J, but he has become known locally as the gastroherta. You know, he's tried to scam at least over 20 times in the past year at different restaurants near, you know, his local area. And so, you know, most recently he ordered a seafood boil. All right. He ordered a seafood boil and 2 whiskeys at the restaurant in September. The bill was only 34.85 euros, which is just 36 goddamn United States dollars. 36 USD. Okay. And he had to fake a heart attack for that. I say, damn, I could see if you was doing some Ruth Chris $80, $100 entrees. What is going on? This picture of him got me wheezing, okay? So he attempted to leave without paying, but the restaurant staff stopped him, and they told him, like, look, yo, you got to pay your bill. You can't go nowhere. And then he got upset, and he said, oh, I got to go to my hotel room to get the money. But staff refused to let him leave. And then he dramatically threw himself on the ground and pretended to have a heart attack. And so the staff, they called the police instead of calling for the fire, police, and ambulance. Instead of calling the fire, police, and ambulance, they just called the police. Because they weren't fooled. And actually, when authorities got there, they recognized him. Okay, so his image has been going around. Have you ever walked in the beauty store or the liquor store or any store, and you seen they got a couple of like just wanted posters in that area? They're not official wanted posters from the police, but they're people who have stolen from that establishment or who may be stealing in the area. Well, the locals have been circulating his image and saying, beware, if you got, a chunky sunglasses, burnt flower ranger, a sunburnt flower ranger, falling on the floor, then he probably ain't having a heart attack. He just not trying to pay that bill. Okay. So they didn't want him to strike again. So they did arrest him. Okay. He was arrested multiple times actually in his area. So this is something he has been doing for some time. So he refused to give his address to the police officers. He was taken into custody, and then he was handed to the local judiciary. Baby, the fact that the employees, okay, the fact that the employees had no sympathy and they took a picture of this man laying on the ground faking his daggone heart attack is crazy to me. Then his shirt got a nerve to say, today will be awesome. I bet it will be awesome. You going around ordering all the seafood you want to order and you ain't paying for it. Yeah, I bet you today was awesome. What's really going on?
Out of pocket for that shit. Way out of pocket. What do you gain from that?
Wait, somebody in the chat. Oh my gosh, you're about to make me choke on my apple juice. Somebody in the chat, he over here looking like a boiled egg trying to fool someone. Not a boiled egg. You know what? I can't lie. He do look a little Humpty Dumpty-ish. Y'all are terrible. We ain't making it to the pearly gates messing with y'all. He's out of pocket. He's out of pocket. I couldn't believe this story when I synced it, but you know what? I'm the employee that would have took a picture of him laying on the ground too. I would have taken a picture of him laying on the ground as well. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Get out of here. He need to go somewhere and play Santa Claus and get him some dollars. How much is his rent that he can't afford? Wasn't even $40, child. He could have got $40 from his man or his girlfriend. Something. That's today's episode of What the Hell is Wrong with Y'all? Flower Ranger News edition. Okay. So that's that. All right. Wanted to give y'all some Flower Ranger news. Was he outside? He looks burnt. Yeah, he is burnt. He clearly keep them sunglasses on all the goddamn time. All the goddamn time. Okay. Now let's get into this Will and Jada debacle. Oh, this Will and Jada debacle is it's annoying. I'm tired. I believe we're all tired. But let's go ahead and really just expose my thought process on this whole thing. Let's go.
Get into this Black-owned business, Stickies. It's got things for inside your home, outside your home, and even on the go. JasmineMadeIt.com is your new destination for Black Girl Magic mugs, tumblers, and even wine glasses. You can even customize the tumblers and wine glasses. There's a lot going on for a low price over at JasmineMadeIt.com. And if you've been serious about wanting to support more Black-owned businesses, here's your chance. Let JasmineMadeIt.com handle all your problems for family and friends. You ever had a friend over and they just wasn't catching the hint or paying the rent?
Our asses all get to stepping.
Yeah, tell them to get to stepping with this nostalgic Martin-themed doormat and shop over a dozen different doormat designs over on JasmineMadeIt.com. All right, Stickies, you know what time it is. It's time to put your money where your mouth is and shop Black today. Make life easier for you and your household by taking your family's hot or cold beverages on the go with one of these unique tumblers. It's insulated to keep your beverage at temperature, and it comes with a few different reusable straws and even the specific brush that you need to wash it so you can keep it sanitized and germ-free. They've got all kinds of designs to match your mood or style. So grab something for your wife, the hubby, or even the kids over on JasmineMadeIt.com. That's JasmineMadeIt.com, and I'll see you over there.
All right, and don't forget to use code Jane for 10% off. There is no minimum purchase requirement. I absolutely love my cup. I use it every day. So, Will and Jada, child. Here we go, back on Will and goddamn Jada. All right. Are y'all tired? Can y'all put a 3 in the chat if you're tired? If you're a channel member, drop the Will Smith emote, the tired emoji in the chat, child. Are you tired? Are you not entertained? /tired. Okay, so here's my thing, right? I told y'all a little bit earlier in my, I believe it was the morning show from the day before yesterday. I told y'all that something is off when you have people of these significant net worths, okay, who are pimping themselves out and exploiting themselves as if they are hungry for money. It's not like they're, you know, Sexy Reds or Sukianas. Why are they exploiting themselves in order to sell books as if nobody will buy a book from a Will Smith or a Jada Pinkett? It's given ultimate capitalist to me, for me. It just is. They pimp themselves out more than reality TV ever could. There will be no point in them getting their own reality TV show because they're doing it themselves. You know how reality TV is just a terrible representation of Black people? They're always going to find a way to edit it and prioritize and publicize the worst of the worst about you and even imply things that are not true about you. So they stopped in Baltimore. Will and Jada stopped in Baltimore. And I really want you to pay attention to these words because there's something that they're trying to do. I think that they're hungry for something. And I do think that social media idolizing celebrities like Will and Jada, their union, and just celebrities in general, I do think that social media is responsible for some of why they are able to capitalize on this type of dysfunction this way. They were crowned couples goals. There is no denying that. A lot of people regret it now. Even J. Cole regrets putting it in his song. J. Cole, that Jada and that Will love. And y'all saw when he performed the other night, he paused and didn't even put that in his song. So social media has made them some idols or some couples goals of some sort. And now what they're doing is they're cashing in and they're cashing out on that. And it doesn't matter how bad and how dysfunctional they present themselves, people are still going to buy into it in the name of relatability. This is a sloppy public experiment. Their marriage is a sloppy public experiment, a social experiment to see how much and how bad, but how much people are still going to buy their products and their books and whatever comes next. We really need to be concerned about what's on the horizon for Will and Jada. What else are they going to try to sell us? Because this little sloppy, book tour, although we're tired of it, it's captivating to some. People see it as a gravy train, as a train wreck, just like reality TV. Reality TV can be extremely pitiful at times, but it's a train wreck that people refuse to look away from. People are still going to pay that $5 to watch baddies on Zeus, to watch Krishan and Blueface, and some people are still even watching Love and Hip Hop. The drama and the toxicity among us, just like sex is always going to sell, toxicity is always going to sell. And I just would have never seen Will and Jada get into this point, but they are. I need y'all to take a listen. I need y'all to take a listen to what they said together when they were here in Baltimore. Okay, so we got 500 people in the building. We don't even have 250 likes. Let's get these likes up. Drop some pancakes. It's free. You ain't got to open your wallet to support, but just support Black media, support the stream, support Black female content creators, and hit the thumbs up button and make sure you subscribe to the channel. All right, let's go.
Our union is a sloppy public experiment.
And you see, everybody's laughing. That's what you need to pay attention to. Everybody's laughing. He's telling the truth there. It's clear that this is to see how many people, how many sales will we still be able to garner no matter how out of control and how off the tracks this train goes. We're still able to make money and capitalize off of whatever haphazard information that really should be a secret within our household or discussed with our therapist if it's all true. They are experimenting to see how well received they will still be, if even in a monetary way. You know how some people sit and hate watch videos? They don't like the video, but hate watching still goes into the pockets. That's why some people troll, right? You got some people who troll, and they'll do it on purpose, and they'll say things that they don't even believe, that they don't believe in, that do not align with their standards and what they truly and how they live on a daily basis, but they know it'll still be profitable. And the fact that some people hate it or disagree so strongly, it's still going to put money in their pockets, whether it's a video view, a click in a view, or whether it's flat out sales to a book just to pick it apart and read it and say how much it does not make sense. They are testing out. See, at one point, Will and Jada, they were not relatable, right? Because they had reached this cap of success that the average person is never going to reach. Nobody's ever going to have as much money as a Will Smith when it comes to his audience and his fans, or even a Jada Pinkett. How do you make yourself more relatable to the everyday person? What you do is you begin to normalize dysfunction. Why do you think Sexy Red is so successful right now? Why do you think she's captivated so many people? Unfortunately, right? Why do you think? There are a lot of people who truly live that lifestyle and that ratchetness. And therefore, she is relatable, and she's been able to tap into that hood, that ghetto demographic who do the things that she does and says about. They sucking and licking on nasty feet. Hell, she butt ahead of the line in front of Sukihana. So when you, and that's something that Cardi B has been unable to do. At one point, Cardi B was, we gonna have forever. And she was, but now Cardi B has hit this mainstream success, even though she still got her issues and whatever the case is. Cardi B's attempt to be ghetto and ratchet is not believable anymore. It's not. Because we know that Cardi B probably uses $40 rolls of toilet paper. Each roll of her toilet paper is probably $40. There's nothing relatable about Cardi B anymore. But when you have a Will and a Jada Pinkett Smith with all this, somebody cheated, open marriage, entanglement, what was everybody's making Will out to be a victim, emasculating him. These are things that the everyday person with relationship woes can relate to. And I think that this is what they're trying to pull off. But let's listen to some more.
It is a our union is a sloppy public experiment. It is a sloppy public experiment in unconditional love. Can you love somebody forever, no matter what?
Come on, man. Come on, man. I don't believe every single thing that's been put out by them. But if they're putting all of this stuff out as truth, what do you mean can you stay with somebody and love them unconditionally no matter what? When disrespect comes knocking upon the door once, twice, however many times, it's time to go. Why are we normalizing staying around and accepting nonsense in the name of, well, we got married even though we want to see other people and do other things and what? Why are we normalizing that? Why are we pushing that? And again, I don't believe everything that they've put out. I feel like at least 40% of it is false. But every time it's time to promote a project, we get the worst of the worst. And let's make it worse than the last time and worse than the last time. And Tupac. Now Tupac had alopecia. Ciao. But promoting this toxicity and daring the rest of the world to be like you. Again, they're this bold with this because for over a decade, they have been couples goals. They have been couples goals, quote unquote, for over a year. And social media and these parasocial relationships are to thank for that. So I think that the general public who have idolized them and put them on a pedestal, they have a little bit of responsibility to take here because they've seen that. And this is very calculated and strategic outrage marketing, in my opinion. We're not normalizing this toxicity and staying in relationships that don't work where we feel like we're being slighted and disrespected every time we turn around. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No.
Oh boy, was like, I'm sorry, man.
And, it's also giving comedy bit. Everything that he's saying is so funny to this audience. And this is when they were here in Baltimore the day before yesterday. Are they going to go into comedy? What other power are they truly seeking right now? Because they don't need the money that they're so desperately executing this PR tour for the books. And then remember, they're supposed to be coming up with another book, right? Remember this. Jada and Will are also thinking about collaborating on a future project together. She shared, I know Will and I are talking about writing a book together called Don't Try This at Home. Y'all are rich as hell, right? Richer than anyone I know, okay? Y'all don't need this money. So for y'all to be this capitalistic, for y'all to be the ultimate capitalists here, you're seeking something else. You're seeking power. You're seeking influence over what people do. No different than Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade exploiting their child, their minor child, for the sake of being some sort of ultimate thought leader. They don't need the money or that sort of visibility either. And the minor damn sure doesn't need that type of visibility. But we're moving into the day and age where, did you see how easy it was for Trump to get in office because of his celebrity status? So before, the YouTubers who give commentary and vlog and the influencers on Instagram and thought leaders, they were looked down upon by celebrities. It was, oh, y'all talk about us all day. But now the celebrities want to be influencers and thought leaders. And they want to have a different type of power that doesn't involve money. And I think that it's a little dangerous. And we need to be looking down the line at exactly what the hell it is that Will and Jada, Gabrielle and D Wade, and whoever else are really trying to pump out to us. Because this is clearly not about money for these two. They have enough money. They want something else. Hell, didn't Arnold Schwarzenegger become the governor over there? So these celebrities are looking to either get in office, push off comedy tours, more books. They're trying to influence people and they're trying to make themselves more relatable by any means possible. And the general public is eating it on up. The same way the general public is eating up Sexy Red. Because we know no matter how irritating Will and Jada get, they will never be as low on the quote unquote social totem pole as a Sexy Red is. But everybody seeks their relatability and they do shit to relate to the masses in a different way. Even if it looks like an L to the average person, like, come on, sister, you're better than that. Come on, Will and Jada, you're better than that. They don't care. What they're worried about is their bottom line, and can they profit by tapping into these buckets of all of these issues that the rest of America has. They want you to lower your standards. Will's sitting up here talking about how much can you deal with, and can you stay with somebody and love them unconditionally and never leave at the expense of being a doormat. And they know that a lot of America suffers with low standards or low self-esteem. So they're trying to cash in on that. That's what it's looking like to me. They're cashing in on the crown that the court of public opinion gave them, period. Is he going to go in a comedy? Is Jada going to go? What's happening? Shout out to Chicago Clout. Thank you so much for the $20 super sticker. I appreciate that. Thank you all so much for supporting the stream. Hit the like, and drop some pancakes in the chat.
You show up and love somebody for the rest of your life, even when you don't agree with them. And there ain't nobody on earth except you, mommy. You, mommy. My mom was I almost messed up. You, mom. Nobody showed up for me more than you, mom. Jada's the best friend I have ever had on this planet. And I am going to show up for her and support her for the rest of my life. That's it? Was that 13 minutes?
That's 13 minutes, Will. That's 13 minutes. 13 minutes? Yes.
Okay, that's very good. Here's the thing, I was in Papua New Guinea. I was like in Papua New Guinea, I was on the other side of the world for the last 3 weeks, and I didn't have no service. Right? I didn't have service. So I was out, and I was with a linguist and a marine biologist, and we were studying the relationship between biodiversity and diversity of language. Right? So I didn't have my phone on. And then I landed in Sydney, and my phone. Jada, take it. She said what? Flight 744 to Los Angeles. Oh, hell no! Not till I call her, we're not going to no, but thank you all for being a place for Jada to find her voice, and Baltimore coming home too is really good.
Rolex on your wrist, a plain giant.
So yeah, they were laughing at every little word. They were laughing at every little word. So someone says she's the mother of his children. Well, he was also married to another woman that was the mother of his first child. Cherie wasn't going for that. The mother of his first child in his first marriage, she's not going for this whole show. She's not, she's more of a realistic, down-to-earth person. She's not with this. Jada, however, she's down with it. She's down with it. So it's, let's not act like all of Will's children are by the same woman, because it's not. It's not. So, we'll act like he didn't know what was written in the book. They come out and they play dumb. So that's why it's kind of like, you can't take what they say. You got to take what they say as a grain of salt. If you're hanging on to every word that they are giving you, understand that they are strategically trying to sell this book. There is no reason she brings up Tupac and every other. I'm pretty sure she talks about Tupac in her sleep. There's no reason. Let that man rest. Let us out the group chat And instead, really what they want is for people to talk about it, but people have been dissecting it left and right. If you believe every word that comes out of that mouth, then it's your prerogative, okay? But they're really just trying to cash in on what they think is going to work in your subconscious based on their previous reputation, their current reputation, and they're really trying to figure out where they can go. He said himself in the beginning of this video, our union is a sloppy public experiment of unconditional love. And if it's one thing that us as adults know about unconditional love, it does not have to come with pain and suffering. And I shouldn't have to be abused emotionally, physically, psychologically, mentally, in any type of way in order to get love. That is not the definition of love, blind loyalty, and staying no matter what. That's not what unconditional love is. But again, it seems that Will is tapping in on some things that most of their fan base in a lot of the country do suffer with. And they have an unhealthy habit of oversharing to the point where I don't think that it's all true. Some of it is lies, and it's made to feed on your insecurities to get you to latch onto their words. So now they're going around giving relationship advice. Unconditional love is staying no matter what. Can you stay no matter what? You ever heard somebody say, you can't stay with me no matter what? No, it depends on the what. If you get sick, yeah, I'm going to stay with you through that. But if you become nasty and lazy and unmotivated and you're not able to pull through and do your goals and bring this household what it needs, whether it's money, love, resources, providing, whatever, no, I cannot stay with that. And I damn sure can't stay with somebody that's going to disrespect me day in and day out for sport and then publicly humiliate me on top of all of that. I mean, talk about adding to the injury, adding insult to injury. So with all they're putting out, whether it be true or not, something's not right here. They're trying to normalize dysfunction because dysfunction is relatable and it is profitable. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. And I think that Will used to do like motivational speeches and things of that nature. And actually, he's had some really good ones in the past, to be quite frank. And is he going towards comedy? If you look at how him and Jada were on that stage, I think you don't think that they're trying to gauge how funny and how engaged people were with their presence on that stage. They were laughing at every single word. So he could go into comedy or public speaking based off of his life experiences. Now, if he was Mr. Perfect and never had a fall from grace and never slapped Chris Rock and never had all of these public relationship woes and the red table and the entanglement and so on and so forth, he wouldn't be as relatable to do public speaking of any sort. Because Will Smith basically hit the success lottery. Everybody can't just go to Hollywood and just make it and go up the ranks and make it to the point where they're making $20 million a movie. So how do you make yourself relatable? Well, at this point, he's already done a lot in order to fit into the relatability bucket, right? Strategically, him and Jada have collectively added infidelity. Okay, there's infidelity. How many people have dealt with infidelity in the United States, in the world? Damn near everybody. Him losing his temper and saying, I need to get therapy because he went up there and slapped the shit out of Chris Rock. The divorce talk, even though it didn't happen, but the divorce talk and the separation, he also opened up about having depression at some point. That makes him relatable, right? The relationship woes in general, the issues with his parents, the absentee father, right? Remember that episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air that was very much based on Will's actual life, which is what made that scene it was such a tearjerker. His dad wasn't there. Daddy issues, right? So there's so many different buckets that he already fit in, whether it had been the daddy issues, but things that were just added on that I feel like they intentionally exploited in order to relate to people. They either intentionally exploited things that did happen, or they made up some of these things in the name of relatability. That's what happened. Another thing I can't forget is this. Jaden Smith says that Jada introduced the whole family to psychedelics. I said, who the hell needed to know that? What is the point of oversharing? Okay, y'all sitting there and y'all do y'all shrooms and y'all whatever else. Why are we sharing all of this? Why do we need to know that you made a whole sex room to escape from the kids? Why do we need to know all of this that you giving? It's unnecessary. It's a gimmick. It's PR. I want the industry to go back to having secrets. I miss the element of mystique. I want the element of mystique. But if you don't think that Will was at least telling a bit of the truth when he said that it was a social experiment, it did all of this collectively, from Will's book to this, the entanglement and everything else, and intentionally publicizing this stuff and humiliating themselves equally, although it looks like Will is the more humiliated one. All of this is very strategic, and it's absolutely a social experiment to gauge how long and how far they can go with this. Hey, you might think I got on a tinfoil hat. You might think I'm being a conspiracy theorist, but I'm telling you, watch what he does and watch what he's hungry for, which is massive influence. This is not about money. This is about influence. This is about influence. And more specifically, influencing households. You've got Dwayne and Gabrielle doing this, and you've got Will and Jada doing this. Now, I implore you to, what single people who aren't pushing this happy household that goes through issues, who's doing it singularly? Or does it work more when it's a family portrait? But I think we need to keep our eye on these two couples and any others. I'm pretty sure I'm missing some, but I think that he's seeking some sort of grand scale power or influence. And it's just not sitting right with me. It's just not sitting right. So these are my thoughts. Stickies, I'm curious to know what you thought about. I was out eating my crab dip last night, and I had my little notebook, and I'm writing my notes, and I'm just pondering on this. Like, there's a bigger picture for them. It's looking small because every day we get a different headline or two from Will and Jada. So we're looking at it day by day per headline. Oh, let us out the group chat. Oh, we're so tired. But there's a bigger picture that Will, Jada, and their strategists and their team are looking at a way to continue to capitalize off of this. And it goes beyond money. It goes beyond money. And, to be quite frank, everybody likes an underdog story, right? There's somebody who had an issue, they fell from grace, and then they build themselves back up, and then they really have that relatability. You got celebrities, they go into rehab, and people are still rooting for them after they fall off the wagon. They go into rehab, and they come out, and people are still cheering them on. People like cheering on people who were great, messed up, and they're just trying to get it together again. This is what they're trying to orchestrate here. And they're pulling on y'all emotional heartstrings and your insecurities and your own personal previous or current experiences in order to do so. So watch and see what the next thing, mark my words, watch and see what the next thing y'all think it is that he's going to do. Watch and see. But it's definitely marketing. Definitely marketing. Okay. I think that both of them are crazy. I wouldn't say that one is more crazier than the other or whatever the case is, but it is what it is. These are my thoughts. I would love to know what you all think about it down below. I'm absolutely tired of hearing about them, but I'm also giving it my side eye. Okay. All right. Shout out to Tay for rejoining the membership, and also shout out to Mickey Secrets for joining the membership. Thank you so much. I do appreciate y'all. Have y'all hit the subscribe button yet? What's going on? Because I can go get tired of cussing y'all out. Why y'all ain't hit the subscribe button yet? What's going on? And the like button. 543 people here and only 300 likes. Why?
Why?
What's going on? I'm not understanding. Are you not entertained? Okay, I'm giving y'all the morning show. Are y'all not entertained? Hit that damn button. Okay, hit the like, hit the subscribe, give a little extra razzle dazzle, and hit the notification bell before I get tired on y'all.
But you're not. Stop it! I have never in my life yelled at a girl like this. When my mother yells at this, it's because she loves me. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Learn something from this. You go to bed at night, you lay there, you take responsibility for yourself.
All right. I don't think they've changed. They've always controlled their own narrative. They've always been in charge of their image. Yeah, but something has just gotten a bit desperate about their approach to it. I'm not saying that they didn't always control their image, because I would agree with that too. I don't think that there's anybody who could walk up to Will or Jada, or even the both of them collectively, and say, crash out with these headlines, crash out with your image, push all this to make this or to do this. I do think that this is genuinely what they wanted to do, but it is the total opposite. It is a total 180 from the reserved, private information reserved, and the mystique that they used to have about them, and all the celebrities back in the 90s and the early 2000s. There was a huge level of mystique there. I wish we could go back to secrets. We don't need to know all that's going on in your house. Whether I believe everything that you say is really going on in your house or not, we don't need to know it all. So what makes you have this diarrhea of the mouth on social media every single day? So yes, I do believe that they've always been in control of their image, but they did have a change in direction in the way in which they wanted to control it. And it just doesn't make sense to me, because it's not like they're going broke and they really need to be doing all this to sell some books. You got number one, Charlemagne the God on the New York Times bestseller list. You've got all types of people who will never see the amount of money that Will and Jada have made or seen, who go on to do a number one New York Times bestseller list. So this approach from them seems very haphazard and weird, and there's a bigger picture behind it that we're just not seeing, because we're caught up in the 2 headlines a day that are very cringy. And that's my opinion. Someone says Jada is scrambling and pulling at straws not to be the villain in this disaster, but I think he benefits more from this relationship than she does. He is seen as the beloved protagonist in their story. I can agree with that. Hey, shout out to the official Tyrese report in the building. Thais gifted someone a membership, so shout out to Kay Barron, who was gifted the membership. Shout out to you, and thank you for being here, Thais. Thais is an amazing content creator. So look at his name on the screen, type it in your search bar, and go ahead and subscribe. Once you watch a video of his and you get in the comment section, drop some pancakes in the chat so he know who sent y'all. But yes, I get my life over there at the Thais report. Hilarious. Appreciate you coming through. Okay. So that is that. Only time you heard from celebrities in the 90s and before was in interviews. We can hear at any given time now. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Hey, Layla. It's crazy. We will be backstage. Shout out to all the channel members. We will be backstage later on. Today is Friday, baby. They ain't give me a lot of work today, so I got some free time. So we will be backstage with more breaking news. Now, let's go ahead and get into some other stuff. And listen, Stickies, I really do want to get it sticky and real down below in them comments. What are you thinking about this? If you're on the bus, what are your thoughts about Will and Jada? There are lots of different opinions flying in the live chat right now. But if you're chasing the bus, which means you're not on the bus right now, and you're watching the replay, comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think I'm reaching? Do you think I'm reaching when it comes to my opinion about Will and Jada wanting something more besides money? They want power. They want influence on a grand scale, along with Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade. Let me know. Any and all thoughts are welcome down below, as long as you keep it cute. Otherwise, you're going to get the boot. All right? All right now. All right. We are going to have a good weekend. We are going into the weekend with a bang. We might even have a regular show for the public later on today, but we'll see. I definitely got to give my channel members their own show backstage. So without further ado, y'all know when y'all are on my bus, right? We talk about celebrity stuff. We talk about stuff going on in the real world that affects everyday people like you and me. And we also do some Black excellence, Black history. You're going to learn today. We always going to have a really nice balance when you over here on my bus. We can sit and we can cut up about these celebrities all day and night. But it is important that we get in tune and aligned with and informed with what is going on out here in the world. And also just remembering how amazing we are as Black people. Most of the stuff that we see in the news and the media about our own people is less than positive. We cannot say that 50% of the news that is put out about Black people day in and day out is positive, because it's not. And a lot of times these media, they make money off of putting us in the worst light. So it's up to me, people like myself. The Official Thais Report is another one of those platforms where they make sure they give good, positive Black news. They go back in history and they find stuff. We find stuff to make sure to, if we can't complain about the media representing us in a way that we don't want to be represented, if we're not at least contributing to what we do want to see in the media. Okay, so we have to be the change that we want to be as content creators, instead of just complaining about other platforms not doing what we want. Does that make sense? Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? All right, let's go. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Drop some pancakes down below, and let's keep this bus pushing.
Now let's spend a little bit of time with our ancestors, or at least listening to them, because you know they always tell us you don't know where you're going unless you know where you came from. So let's get into a little bit of Black history with this Black History Moment.
You in that crowd. They got me in the system. Why they gotta do me like that? And I know I can be what I wanna be what I wanna be. We've got love for y'all, which I don't know. Just about the feeling. Get down. Say it loud.
All right, let's get into today's Black History Moment. Y'all like that little 007 tune I put at the end of that, okay? When I think about my childhood and playing games, I think about Nintendo 64 and how we used to play 007 and Donkey Kong and all that other stuff, all right? Frogger, you know, I'm taking it back. Am I showing my age? Am I showing my age? Anyway, let's get into this. Let's make this picture a little bigger on the screen. Now, this image is depicting something that was referred to as the whistle walk back in the day. Now, the whistle walk was the walk leading from the kitchen to the house. So enslaved people were required to whistle as they walked, as whistling and chewing were incompatible simultaneous actions. All right. It would also ensure that they didn't eat or spit in master's food on the way to serve. So just to create a little bit of clarity, right? Because a lot of people are like, what you mean whistle while they walk into the living room to serve the food? Well, back in that day and age, there was, you know, this was a while ago. So kitchens were thought that they might go in flames at some point in time. So the kitchens were outside of the home, and you had to carry your food from the kitchen inside of the house. So a lot of people are like, yeah, well, the common sense thought is, you know, wouldn't they have spit on the food before it got to the main house? You know, yeah. And actually, if they definitely could have spit on the food while they were in the kitchen. It's amazing how you can trust people to make your food, but then you want to punish them and hope that they don't spit in it because you treat them that bad that you know that they want to spit in it. But also with people just breathing and whistling over your food, baby, it's being contaminated and there's spit particles flying anyway. But this is something that a lot of people did not know. The whistle walk. Put an 8 in the chat if you knew what the whistle walk was, if you'd heard of it before, and put a 9 in the chat if you had no clue what the heck that was. Okay, because I can be honest with you. I sit and I do my research to bring y'all these amazing shows. And I was truly today years old when I found out. I was. Absolutely. But this is interesting what some of our ancestors used to have to go to. You don't know where you're going unless you know where you came from. This is the reason why Black history is so goddamn important. Okay. So I see a lot of 9s in the chat. Okay. This is stuff that people just don't know. We just did not know. So it's important to educate ourselves. All right. Now we can move on to the next one. This one, I really, really, really enjoyed this story. So this man that you see on the screen is actually still alive. He's an activist named Dion Diamond. And what you can see in this image here is he's sitting on a counter stool during a civil rights sit-in in Arlington in 1960. He sat there being insulted, harassed, hit, and he was even arrested multiple times for doing it. And he's still alive today. So it was 1960 at the height of racial segregation in the United States. Dion Diamond is a Black man, and he had grown tired of having his rights constantly trampled on. They called him Crazy Diamond because he frequently did these things. And so he entered the premises and he went directly to the white area. He sat down and he stayed there without flinching. And sometimes groups of people gathered around him, threatening him and insulting him. And Crazy Diamond kept sitting there without moving an inch. And Dion said, quote, I would sit down and they would tell me that they couldn't attend to me and I didn't move. There'd be groups of up to 15 or 20 people that would come to tell me to get out and I didn't flinch. I would only leave if they threatened to call the police, end quote. And just by sitting down, this activist made many people stand up to fight for change with an act as simple as staying seated. I mean, like, if that's not amazing, what is? This is the brave stuff I'm talking about. So that's why sometimes taking a stand or taking a seat, it can be really bold. So remember what I was reporting on that story of the young man with the locks, and the school is giving him a hard time. And a lot of people are like, just pull him out of school and go to another one. It's not that simple. You're thinking about the rights of your grandchildren and your nieces and nephews and everybody that's coming after you. So sometimes you have to buck up against the system and take a risk of some sort. Sometimes it's a physical risk. Sometimes it's a monetary risk. Sometimes it's a risk to your freedom. Sometimes it's a risk to your safety, your peace. You have to take risks in order to make progress. Where would we be without the risks of our ancestors from the past? Where would we be? Where would we be? And so also piggybacking on this story, Diamond did an interview and he was asked what was his very first sit-in experience like. And he says it wasn't something that was cheerful. I mean, we learned very quickly that as long as the press was around, we felt somewhat safe. But it was a new experience, and I guess we were all kind of jittery. And I don't know if you've seen the picture of the kid, he says, but the kid approached me, and he couldn't have been any older than 13 or 14 years old, pointing his finger in my face. And he says, I was amused, as you know, whatever the case may be, that this young squirt who was 13 years old had the audacity to just get in my face. But it only got tense when George Lincoln Rockwell, who was the head of the American Nazi Party, came in, and I must admit, it was an anxious time. But again, the place was filled with folks, and I figured as long as there was such a crowd and the police or the press was there, then I wasn't overwhelmed. So shout out to Dion Diamond's unwavering commitment to the civil rights movement. It inspired countless others to stand up for change, and his quiet courage spoke louder than any other words. So again, shout out to him. And we had to get to that Black history, baby. We had to. We have to. All right. So someone said he was handsome. You know what? Actually, he was. Look at that picture up top. He absolutely was handsome. Yes. He absolutely was. So that is that. Now, are y'all ready for one other quick bit of Flower Ranger news? We got some Flower Ranger news. It seemed like they're looking for a lot of sympathy, baby. I just say, get somebody else to do it. Because, baby, how am I to feel sorry for you with this? Now, I'm going to give you a trigger warning. And I'm also going to warn you to get your finger on your volume real quick, okay? Because this video might be a bit loud. I altered it and turned down a couple of things, but I'm going to just give you a trigger warning for what you may see, what's happening in this video, but also put your finger on the volume, maybe turn it down a couple of notches if you're out in public, at work, whatever the case may be, okay? Thank y'all for hitting the like button and dropping them pancakes, okay?
Get the fuck out the truck! Get the fuck out the motherfucking truck! Get out the truck! Get the fuck out!
Okay, quick bit of context. This woman was drunk. she got into a fight with her fiance, this white Karen. You can see her face on the screen, Flower Ranger. And she apparently hit her fiance upside the head with the loaded rifle before she left the house and got on the road. And when she got pulled over for a traffic stop and they wanted her to get out of the vehicle, she pointed a loaded rifle. All right. She pointed a loaded rifle at the cops. Her family says that she was gunned down like a dog after she pointed that thing at the deputies. What y'all having for lunch? Just curious.
Too far? Get the fuck out the truck! Get the fuck out this motherfucking truck! Get out the truck! Get the fuck! Too far?
43-year-old Melissa Horton was shot and killed in Bartlett. 2 days later, her family and friends questioning how it all happened.
It's just, this is the saddest thing. You know, you say it can't happen to you. It's not going to happen to you. It'll never happen to me. But it can happen. And it's happening all over the country and all over Memphis.
Horton and her family.
Now, I want to ask this Lice Lieutenant, this Flower Ranger that is her husband, what made you think it could never happen to you? Is it because you got the complexion for protection? Is it that you thought it only happened to blacks? You said to yourself, this just can't happen to me. What made you think that? What made you think that you or any of your family or friends and all of the unseasonedness that comes with you all, that y'all could point a loaded weapon at a deputy and live to see tomorrow? Maybe because some of y'all do. Many of y'all do. Looks like y'all found out. Because what I heard you just say is, we're white. This isn't supposed to happen to us. Can't happen to me. Can't happen to us. Oh, no. Okay.
Fiance Preston Morris were to be married in July. Morris says he and Horton got into a fight early Saturday. The Fayette County Sheriff's Office says they responded to a domestic violence call at their home, where they say Horton pulled a shotgun on her fiance and struck him in the head with it. She took off, and deputies put out a broadcast to other agencies.
She, of course, when you've been drinking, you don't want to go to rehab and stuff, But, we got in an altercation and she left the house mad and then everything else, it's questionable what happened after that.
Shelby County deputies spotted Horton's car and stopped her on Ellis Road near Golden Valley Lane in Bartlett. Shots were fired. Horton was killed, according to the TBI. What happened between the stop and the shooting remains a mystery. Horton's family and friends, like Kristen Ray, are devastated for the mom of 3 girls, the soon-to-be bride who loved her family, Ole Miss football, and her dog Scarlett.
She was a good mom. She loved.
If y'all don't put that damn dog out this interview and talk to these people, y'all making her out to be a victim. She's already got this mugshot here. Y'all got the dog all up and through this. Whose fault is it that y'all white thug of a friend? I thought we
loved her girls, but there are many questions that we have that we want answers to. And
what questions you want answers to? She pointed a loaded weapon at deputies and even fled from them initially. What questions do you have? We got 2 different angles of the body cam footage that I just played. The one from the officer who fired his firearm and the other officer who stood right behind him. What questions you got? It's all in 4K. Y'all think about filing a lawsuit? It won't work. It won't work.
I think the truth needs to come out, and I want it to come out. And
the truth, baby, we seek the truth. Girl,
a lot of people want to know what really happened.
Her birthday falls on Easter Sunday, and we bought this beautiful dress to wear for Easter Sunday church services, and you know, it's just tragic that this happened, and you know, she can't even wear it.
Oh, she can wear it, baby. She can wear it. She's got one more opportunity to wear it. You might as well go ahead and bury it in it. And you know, here's my thing. Are y'all just saying shit? Y'all bought the dog out for sympathy. Everybody loves animals, but baby, I don't give a damn about that dog right now. You mean to tell me who, anybody in the chat got their Easter outfit for next year already? It's October, babes. And you felt the need in the midst of her death to say, look at this pretty dress for her birthday on Easter that we got already. She can't even wear it. Look at this dress. How she know she was even going? Women don't be buying stuff that far in advance like that. Not that. And not nothing. Baby, that's a damn blouse. That's not even a bust down. I'm stepping out. Because you never know how your weight may change from now to Easter. Baby, this look like a blouse from JCPenney and you acting like y'all spent $1,200 on it or something. It's giving blouse. Blouse.
And we bought this beautiful dress to wear for, you know, Easter Sunday church services. And, you know, it's just tragic that this happened, and, you know, she can't even wear it.
She can wear it, babes. You got one more. You might as well go ahead and send her on to Satan or Jesus with it. All right. It'll be that last ride. All right. And they ain't got no sympathy for, I mean,
one of a kind. I mean, it's just, you know, she's unreplaceable. You know, the beautiful soul that she had.
On your wrist, plain Jane.
If they don't get the hell up out of here, what y'all having for lunch? I saw somebody said they was having turkey on wheat. I saw somebody said a cheesesteak. I saw somebody said lean cuisine. We having some good stuff. You know, I think I'm gonna make me a lunch meat sandwich. I do got lunch meat up in here. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I might do a grilled cheese. Because child, what do they want us to do with this information? They don't give a damn when it's us. Sat up here and said we didn't think it could happen to us because we're what? We're what? You learned today, babe. You learned today. You learned today. Let's some lessons you learned the hard way.
It was gone. Let me just go in the bush and weep. Let me just go in the bush and weep. I just have to go in the bush and weep. Really. I don't understand. I swear to God, I don't understand.
Oh, some of y'all doing sushi? Okay, now y'all really getting me hungry. Somebody says fish sandwich. Somebody said sushi without the bullet. You know what? I can't with y'all. He said, who does that? Exactly. Who does that? Who does that?
Who does that?
Makes no sense. Shout out to all of y'all for knowing all of my memes and gifts. You know, this is today's episode of What the Hell is Wrong with Y'all? Flower Ranger edition. Okay. Now, if y'all ever have any stories that deserve to be a part of the What the Hell is Wrong with Y'all segment, be sure to tag me in them on. Matter of fact, it'd be best if you DM them to me. You can DM them to me on Instagram, on Twitter, or you can send an email. All right. Now it is time for us to get into our sticky note of the day. Okay. Are we enjoying the show? Are we liking the morning show? All right. Are we enjoying the morning show that I'm able to finesse? Now I had to come on a little bit later today because I had a little bit of work to do this morning. I had some reports to hand in, but I'm like, listen, I'm still gonna go live for this morning show. I told them we trying something new out. Okay. And it seems like y'all are really getting down with the morning show, which I love because the morning show is something that I want to do. But if y'all not feeling it, I won't do the morning show and we can just like do the shows later in the day and I can do my edited uploads. But I'm kind of feeling the morning show. I really am. Some days I can do them at 7 a.m., sometimes 6, sometimes 8. But, you know, let me know. Okay. Okay. We need to get into our sticky note. And then I want to see if there's any other breaking news that we need to get into. Even though if there is any breaking news, I might have to do it on the backup channel because I don't want this video to be too long. All right. So without further ado, shout out to all of my channel members. Shout out to all of my people in the Discord. Whoop, whoop. Shout out to my moderators. All right. And shout out to everybody who has hit thumbs up on the stream and you are supporting the stream in any way possible. You do not have to monetarily support the stream in order to be a full-fledged official sticky, right? And to make sure that as many people get to see the show as possible, you can simply share this video via text message, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, your group chats, however it is that you share videos, hit like or subscribe. But without further ado, let's go ahead and play this real quick and get into our sticky note of the day.
The plainest Jane. This is one of my favorite comments here. She says, I loves me some black, and she said, loves me some black news. She says, is it just me, or does anyone else get tired of seeing people that don't look like them delivering info about them day in and day out?
So wait a minute, you ain't joined the channel yet so that you can access special perks over here with the plainest Jane?
Rolex on your wrist, a plain Jane.
Ooh, watch this. Hey, I'm the plainest Jane. I'm a cultural commentator and informant, and I provide sticky coverage on trending stories, black news, black culture, and everyday topics with a sticky, abstract perspective. So get familiar with the perks. I've carefully curated all of these things, and it's just a little exclusive glaze to amplify the way that you express yourself. So get comfortable, get used to our official emoji over here. That is the pancake stack, because it's always sticky in Hollywood and in real life, and especially when you spend the time over here with the plainest Jane. Like I said, I hope you enjoy the exclusive glaze that I've provided for you to amplify the way you express yourself, and I hope you enjoy the digital vibe. Hey, listen, I always want you to keep it sticky, but be sure to think critically and independently, regardless of what you hear from me or anybody else. But most importantly, I hope that you're feeling all right, and hopefully you've had some time to tackle some of your invisible problems. I know I got a couple of new subscribers, and I just want to say thank y'all. I really do appreciate you. And if you're not quite feeling all right, this channel right here, once you join, it's going to help you kick back and decompress always, but it'll also keep you in the know with what's happening with the best black news, celebrity entertainment, and a splash of controversy. So again, get comfortable. The first drink is on me, all right? Act like you got some sense, and I'll see you around. But don't forget to keep it sticky 24/7 by following me on Instagram, but hit that notification bell so that you always know when I upload and you get your dose of syrup first. Now, with all that stickiness being said, the most important thing I want you to remember about this neck of the woods and the plainest Jane is Black Lives Matter. And if you don't agree,
Buy pumpkin, buy pumpkin. That would take you out. I don't play that shit.
Now you gotta go for real.
It's just that simple. Hey, look, whether you join or not, I do want you to stay beautiful, black, and blessed. And just know I appreciate your support. I'm your girl, the plainest Jane. And let's see what's happening in these virtual streets. You ready? All right now. This could be a crazy ride. I'm warning you now. All right, and we are back. Now, listen, today's sticky note is brought to you by Deeper Than Skin Deep. If you are looking for someone who is going to basically be your own personalized makeup guru, they actually, and I just dropped the link in the chat, subscribe to her channel. So she reviews high-end skincare and makeup and even does makeup tutorials. It is the very first link down below in the description box. And I also just dropped it down below in the chat. So this sticky note is brought to you by Deeper Than Skin Deep. Make sure you go over there, subscribe, drop some pancakes in whatever comment section you can find, and let her know who sent you, because that is who today's sticky note is sponsored by, okay? And if you're looking for advertisement opportunities and you want to promote your product on my platform, no real estate now, child. No real estate, baby. No real estate and no credit repair. All right. And I'm being dead serious. No real estate or credit repair. I really do prefer to promote products that are tangible for the most part. Okay. But if you're looking for promo and you want to advertise your good product or service on my platform, shoot me an email and we'll go from there. Okay.
Now, today's sticky note is this. All right. Stop romanticizing the people who hurt you. Stop romanticizing the people who hurt you. The people who hurt you you may not want to let go. You may be codependent. But one thing that we can't fall in love with, if your mother ain't taught you that or you ain't heard it in a while and it needs to be reprogrammed into your head, you cannot be falling in love with potential. Potential don't pay the bills. And there's so many times where we see people, and I've been there and I've done that, and I catch myself even doing it still sometimes. Falling in love with potential is dangerous. You're looking to find the 2%, 3%, 8% good in someone when they are operating 92% of the time from a place that's just not good and it's not beneficial to you. These people are hurting you. These people are leeching and mooching off of you, whether it be financially, whether they're energy vampires, whether every time you say something or have a positive idea, they have something negative to say. They don't bring any positive feeling or things or even conversation to the table. They're not leveling up. And that can wear off on you. You are most like the 5 people that you spend the most time around or talking to. And so there's nothing wrong with having a friend or somebody who's going through a dark moment, but is everything always dark with them? And do you feel heavy when you're on the phone with them, when you get off the phone with them? One thing that you have to realize, givers, right? Givers and people who love to give. They're oftentimes giving because they're giving from a place of, I wish I had have had this. There's something about them where they weren't able to experience the abundance of whatever it is that they're trying to provide for other people. And so people who like to give, that makes up for that for them. But if you are a giver, please learn your limits, because takers don't have any limits. So you can only, I know it's so cliche, you can't pour from an empty cup. And it's like you have to find different ways to say these things, because sometimes these quotes that have been told to us over and over and over again, these African proverbs over and over and over again, they lose their meaning and people stop thinking about how much they're giving to others and not giving enough to themselves. You don't have a limit as a giver for the most part. If you haven't learned your limits, you haven't learned your limits. But please trust and believe that takers do not have limits. And so you have got to stop romanticizing people who are energy vampires, physical vampires, emotional vampires, and they're draining you dry. And you keep trying to push them. And I see the good in you. You keep trying to fix them or build them up and talk positivity into them. And of course, friends, acquaintances of whatever, whatever, should be able to speak positivity. But have you been spending your last couple of days, weeks, months trying to build this person up and they're still in a rut? Tell them to seek a mental health professional and a therapist who can get down to the root of their problems. Because if you didn't go to school for that and you're not getting paid for that and you're on month 3 of trying to build up this friend that just refuses to get out of this rut, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're doing yourself a disservice and you're giving a little bit too much, and you should be prioritizing yourself a little bit more. And a lot of times you don't realize you're romanticizing the people who have hurt you. I've been in an abusive relationship before. I was romanticizing that person that was hurting me. Even in regular friendships before, I was romanticizing the people who weren't bringing anything to the table for me, but to stay in my business. What you got going on next? What's going on next? Oh, I'm on the radio. I'm on the radio. I'm doing this, that. Oh, I'm just here doing nothing. Can't afford money for a bus pass. So maybe, you want me to come get you? I can come get you. You want to get out? You want to get some? Like, damn, you can't even say congratulations. You're not feeding me in any way. And a friendship should be a barter system. At the very least, a barter system of energy. You pour into me, I pour into you. You bring some positivity and some motivation and inspiration, and I bring that too. And we can feed off of each other and climb to the top. But a lot of times, if you're leveling up at a rate in which this person is stagnant and they know it, they will sometimes have a bummy and a negative demeanor just to bring you back down. You're climbing too fast for them. You're leaving them behind. They feel left behind. And now they kind of just start doing nice, nasty things. So if you're not willing to do the work that it takes to get out of the rut, if the friend around you or the associate or acquaintance or coworker or family member, let's talk about that one, is not doing the work that they need to get out of the rut that they are in, then it's time that you love them from a distance and leave them behind. And you don't have to call them and have a conversation with them about it, because people find that to be hard. You can just slowly take a step back, take your steps back, and let it happen gradually. Because I guarantee you, if you tell that person, hey, I got to take some steps back from you because I feel like I'm going somewhere and I'm leaving you behind, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to take that well. They're not going to take it well. And they're going to turn it into an argument. Just get quiet. Just go ghost. And every time they hit you up or you miss that phone call, say, hey, listen, I'm busy grinding. I'm hustling. I'm journaling. I'm brainstorming. I'm healing. I'm doing my root work. I'm doing my shadow work. I'm in these meetings. I'm trying to learn. I was researching this. I've been reading my book. Give them these reasons as to why you're busy and why you're getting better, instead of telling them why you're leaving them behind. Because everybody doesn't take that well, especially if they're stagnant and stuck in a rut. Whether it's conscious or subconscious that they're in that rut, whether they're lazy or genuinely depressed. Stop romanticizing people that are wasting your time and people that are not feeding into you, but you are busy spending all of your time feeding into them. Learn your limits as a giver, because takers don't have any. All right. And that's the sticky note of today. All right. That's the sticky note of today. Be sure to comment down below. I'm doing me, so I know it's real. And if this message resonated with you in any type of way. Okay. I've been left behind, but I became a cheerleader. But most people in that dynamic hate their friend or family member. Yeah, that does happen sometimes. That does happen sometimes. It absolutely does. It does. So that is that sticky note, child. Seek help. You know, we're not mental health professionals. That's why when I saw Envy on the Breakfast Club with the Tyrese thing, and Tyrese was going through complete and absolute utter mania talking about Envy. How come you didn't? Envy is not a mental health professional. And but I'm not making excuses, but I'm saying, like, if I had a friend who was doing stuff like that, going online, lying about Will and Jada giving him $5 million and everything else, and everybody's trying to tell him, brother, you need to talk to someone, and he refuses, that's like putting your hand in a blender. It's like, hey, let me help you. I'm not about to get my fingers cut off to the nubs to help you when you clearly don't want help. You don't want help. And there's nothing that nobody can tell you about that. So sometimes you're not equipped to handle the problem as much as you want to have the right thing to say or the right piece of advice to offer or the solution to give them that's just going to solve their problems. Sometimes you're just not equipped, and that's no slight to you. It's no slight to you. It's just they need to be in touch with people who have the tools that are necessary to help them get through whatever it is that they're going through, instead of putting their anchor down and relying solely on you to solve problems. And you never went to school for stuff like that. I went to school for marketing, and I've studied skincare and journalism and broadcast journalism and radio and communications. I did not study mental health. So there's only but so much I can do in that capacity without pointing you in the right direction. And sometimes it takes help. Sometimes it does take, if you're around that friend, like, listen, sign up for therapy. I'll sit down. Let's look through some therapists. You need to sign up for one. Okay, here's the list. I pulled up. Okay, you want a Black therapist. Okay, you want a woman therapist. Okay, you want her to be Christian or spiritual or religious. Okay, you want one that's in this state. Okay, cool. Here go 10. That's the most you can do, because if you're not willing to sign up and I've already done this for you, there's nothing more I can do. And I know that's how I got into therapy, was I had someone who was like, listen, here's the website. Sit down with me. Let's go through this, Jane. And I'm like, okay, I'm so depressed. But, you know, they helped me take that step, and the list of the 10 were there, and I picked one, and that was what I needed. But if you can pull up those resources that your friend or associate or acquaintance, family member, whoever needs, and they don't even want to just hit the button to sign up, then they're just clearly at a place where they want to be stagnant. They're complacent. They're complicit with where they are or where they aren't. And you just got to leave it at be there. There's only but so much you can do, you know? So you got to deal with the tools you have. Shout out to the person watching me on Facebook. It looks like I got one person watching from Facebook. Thank you so much if you are on Facebook or if you follow me on Facebook, okay? So that was a sticky note. Y'all know these sticky notes, they come from my experience, from my gut, from my life. And, you know, these are things that I've lived. These are things that I have lived. So that sticky note, just like all the sticky notes, they really do hit home for me. And they come from an extremely personal place. So listen, everybody, be sure to tag me in all your favorite trending topics on Instagram and on Twitter. Do not hesitate to send me a DM on Twitter or on Instagram if you really want me to see it. Sometimes I get so many notifications that if you tag me in something, by the time I get to my notifications, because I get like 130 a day, it'll be gone. So sometimes it might be best to DM or send an email if you can. But listen, I passed the question off to y'all. What are your final thoughts and unanswered questions when it comes to Will and Jada and they scheming ways? This is all a scheme set up by Todd. Okay? This is a whole scheme set up by Todd. But no, what is it that you are feeling about them? Do you think that there is a bigger picture that they're trying to sell that we, the people, can't really see at this time? Will Smith saying himself, my marriage to Jada Pinkett Smith is a sloppy public experiment in unconditional love. I don't know. The couple's goals, you know, them cashing in on the crown that the court of public opinion gave them. Something's. I'm curious about what's going to happen next. I feel like they want you to lower your standards. And I feel like they're trying to normalize dysfunction because dysfunction is relatable. It's profitable. Again, case study A, Sexy Red. Sexy Red came in and surpassed Sukiyana. So I think that Will Smith might be trying to go into the public speaker direction, mixed with a dash of comedy, mixed with giving relationship and household advice out to families. And I think that outside of the issue that already existed that is relatable for Will Smith, his daddy issue, right? His absentee father, but publicly they've overshared the infidelity, the temper, the fact that Will Smith couldn't keep his temper together, and his fall from grace with slapping Chris Rock, the divorce/separation rumors, depression, the relationship woes in general. I feel like he and Jada have strategically done a lot. It's very calculated to make themselves relatable to most people and most people's either experiences or insecurities. Who hasn't experienced infidelity or somebody cheating on them? Who hasn't been depressed? Who hasn't had relationship issues? Who hasn't been doing really well and then kind of like fell off for a while and they're trying to get back on, right? So I think that all of that stuff was extremely calculated. They weren't sharing stuff like this in the 99s and the 2000s. No celebrity was. But now they are in order to sell books. And I don't think that it's money that they're hungry for. I believe that they are hungry for power and influence on a grand scale, along with Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, when it comes to how people run their household and raise their children and deal with their marriages. So I absolutely do believe that it's a social experiment to gauge how much they're still able to sell, despite how much of a train wreck all of this is, exploiting themselves this way. I would have never thought that the net worths of Will and Jada combined would have to demote themselves to such trashy social media PR antics to sell books, because I feel like they could still sell books and have #1 books without all of this. So I feel like they're hungry for more, and we need to be on the lookout and trying to see the landscape rather than seeing the portrait of the 2 new headlines that we get each and every week. Where is Will and Jada going to go? Where are Will and Jada going to go with this next? Where are they going to go with this next? It's beyond books. It's beyond books, if you ask me. And also, how do you feel about DJ Envy? How do you feel about him and this whole Ponzi scheme situation? Joe Budden openly said, listen, brother, this is a Ponzi scheme. You're going to go to jail. Years ago, 4 years ago, another comedian that did an interview said, brother, you're going to go to jail. You scamming. Does the government know you doing this? Years ago, 4 years ago, she called that out, Black comedian. So shout out to Joe Budden. And you know what? I forget this lady's name. Let me get her name right.
First of all, let me just say this. Envy, I adore you. I want to get a house from you. Shit, I don't sell houses. But what if you flipping something? Ain't it houses? Or what the fuck you doing? Every time I see you doing something, you flipping a house in New Jersey or some shit like that.
No, I'm not a realtor.
houses.
I buy houses, I fix them, and I rent them out. I'm not a realtor. I'm trying to encourage people to buy homes and to create
You should become a realtor.
Okay, but I'm trying to figure out because then you got the home and you try to make money off the home. And you making money off the home.
Yes, ma'am.
So you selling the homes.
I'm selling rooms or apartments. I'm keeping it.
SROs.
Yeah, I'm keeping it. So
you the slumlord.
I'm
You got 4 families worth of niggas living under one roof? Oh my God. Does the government know?
I'm trying to encourage people to buy homes and to invest in themselves so they can always have property instead of continue to rent.
By investing in you and putting money in your pocket. Let's not act like you not making money. I'm just to the point I was making is you making money, right?
I'm doing it the right way without getting got.
But they got to get got by you before they don't get got by you.
Rolex on your wrist, a plain Jane.
Act like you not making.
All right, so shout out to comedian Yamaneika, all right, for calling DJ Envy out in a joking way, but Joe Budden did the same thing as well. I played it earlier in the video, so you can catch a replay if you haven't done it already. I don't want this replay to be redundant, but yes, there were people calling this out from a distance years ago because it just didn't sound right. Sounds like these people have discernment. Do I agree with Joe all the time? No. Am I fond of Joe? No. But when he's right, he's right. When Joe Budden is right, he is right. Like that you just got to admit, despite how much I don't like him, okay? Or I'm just not fond of him. I can't say I don't like him. But I pass the question off to you, Stickies. What are your thoughts and where do you land with these topics that we have discussed today? All of these topics and all of these neighborhoods that we drove past today. I want you to keep it sticky and real down below in the comments, even if you're chasing the bus, which means you didn't catch the live stream, you're watching the replay. I want to hear from y'all down below into these comments. Okay. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you so much for checking the community tab. Thank you for subscribing to the backup channel, which is also linked down below in the description box. I'll also drop it in the comments right now. And listen, don't forget to do something to decompress today. All right. Do something to decompress today. And listen, be sure to subscribe and thumbs up or down. Either way, I appreciate it. But be sure to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of this celebrity or trending syrup, because you know things are always sticky in Hollywood and in real life. Drop some of them pancake emojis down below. Y'all say beautiful, black, and blessed. And most importantly, please do me a favor. Please do me a favor. However you can, be sure to have a good day on purpose. All right. I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Deuces.
Rolex on your wrist, a plain Jane.
But that's it. If you want to catch more of my commentary on Black culture or vital and trending information, be sure to subscribe by hitting that little circle in the middle of the screen, or I'll catch you in one of these rectangles to the right in another video. I'll see you there.